policy be adjusted accordingly to help we Jamaicans, do a better job of responding to the climate crisis, for us to be climate resilient. Here's what the Prime Minister said on that on Sunday.
Your government has taken this issue and we are dealing with it in a smart way. We have never had to borrow to deal with any issue of natural disaster since we have been government. We are the first country in the region to take out a catastrophe bond. It's almost like an insurance policy that if a real serious disaster happens, we can pull on that money. I don't know how many of you saw it, but Jamaica recently put out a procurement for 100 megawatts of renewable electricity, replacing our old carbon-based generation for electricity. Big step. Our goal is to move our electricity generation to having 50% of the electricity we consume from renewable energy. I know one of the things that affect you the most is your electricity bill. If we can reduce or make stable your electricity bill, your quality of life will improve.
Yes. So he linked the climate crisis to the energy crisis or energy poverty, where we're totally dependent on fossil fuel, which is a direct contributor to the climate crisis we're having as humanity. No? But you'd call that boring. Boring. He also spoke about the country exploring the use of small modular nuclear reactors for the production of clean energy.
How many of you know that the University of the West Indies has a small nuclear reactor? You know that little Jamaica has that for research purposes? If we manage to do those two things, we will transform the energy sector in Jamaica and ensure that every Jamaican don't have to worry about their electricity bill. We can end energy poverty in Jamaica. No more bridge light, no more teeth light, no more hide and borrow light from your friend. You should have electricity affordable so that you can enjoy the best quality of life.
Prime Minister Holness, when last you hear that kind of thing from the political platform? He spoke about roads, repeating again the $40 billion road improvement project under Spark that his administration will be embarking on. Yes? Housing. And which brings me to Venetia Phillips. She made it official what we had suspected, and that was that she was on her way to the Labour Party after falling out with Mark Golding's PNP. And she declared yesterday in an interview, quote, "The PNP of old does not exist today, and there's no sign of it returning." The PNP of old does not exist today, and there's no sign of it returning. A very bold statement, but a statement that will resonate with a lot of PNP supporters, a significant number of PNP supporters, because the party has been adrift. It is virtually in an identity crisis. It has not taken the time, despite the Bogues report, I haven't heard a thing about that, to really seriously think through what is its mission in this 21st century. It hasn't done so. If you listen to the party and its top leaders, They intend to regain state power by riding on the failings of the Andrew Holness administration and the angst and anger and corruption and the illicit six back to power. They have not put forward a platform of issues that people can say, yeah, this looks good. Yeah, this is something we can speak to and vote for. And you know, I have to do a lot of teaching, not only here, but in my newsroom. You look at the PNP front line and the JLP front bench. Let's look at that conference yesterday. The message, the content, and the messengers. The JLP has a deep bench. You use that term in football, right? Yeah, your bench deep. You can suffer an injury, and it's like, upset the chemistry and flow of the team because you reserve good, your bench good. You look at that Labour Party team today, pound for pound, and what do you see? What do you see? A deep bench. Forget Holness. You look at the next tier in the cabinet. Clark, Tufton, Green. Yes? And I can go down. Bartlett. Yes? And I would skip Bartlett, given his longevity. Yeah? But look at the second tier. Tufton, Clark, Green, Williams. You look. And I haven't said yet, I haven't included Rhoda, Tova, yes? Kerencia, Juliet. Yes, we tend not to include Juliet because she happens to be married to the Prime Minister. Yeah? You look at that second tier. And that is one of the challenges facing the People's National Party today. Time for the break. When we come back, Venetia Phillips' comment.
I had to then look at why I was a comrade to begin with. Why was I a member of the People's National Party? And then I had to look at where I am now in that context and whether or not the cause to which I was committed still existed. I kept coming up with the same answer. No. I'm sure you can agree with me that the PNP of old does not exist today. And there's no sign of it returning, unfortunately. I believe that the minute you shift from your core principles, the minute you abandon who you truly are or how you came about, then that goes to your soul. It goes to your root. And once you are killing the root, then you're actually killing the tree. And so that is what has happened to the People's National Party. And with the ascendancy of the Mark Golding factor, you saw an almost complete erosion.
Councillor Venetia Phillips. She joined the Labour Party officially yesterday, publicly. So too, two councillors out of the PNP Bedrock parish of Westmoreland, James and Miles, Ian Miles and Garfield James. And let me tell you, in politics, especially at this stage of the electoral cycle, you're weeks away from a local election, and 3 of your sitting councillors, yes, have defected. That's not a good sign. It's a bad sign. And you can splice it and dice it and spin it any way you want. It is a